take a minute while we're in it. Wait a minute, I don't wanna leave.
Be who you are for your pride. Don't hide.
What is up, Shaylas? We are back. As you can probably hear from the intro, I'm here with a baddie king, Nathan.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting me
No
on the podcast. I am
problem.
very, very excited.
Heck yeah, we're about to have a jolly good old time.
No, for real.
Oh yeah. So today's episode is all about celebrating Pride Month. We're here talking about the girls, the gays, the slays, and what was the other one? The days.
Oh,
so,
the
yeah,
days, yes.
We're including everybody today. If that's not quite your vibe, no worries. Go ahead and dip out, catch a different episode. But if you're here for that, if you want to vibe, we are here to do nothing but good vibes.
Oh, no, 100%.
Heck yeah. So first off, the first thing we're going to talk about is Nate went to Pride. Tell us
Yes.
all about Pride Fest. Your favorite
Alrighty.
part.
So it was my first ever Pride.
Hell yeah.
I went to KC Pride Fest on Saturday.
Okay,
Unfortunately, I did not wake up early enough to catch the parade, but I
Okay.
did see some videos and everything around from some of the people I went around and talked
Okay,
to.
period.
Yeah, it was honestly really cheap to get in. I think it's like $12 after tax for a ticket just to get in.
Okay.
There's so many live performers
Yeah.
that like it was 100% worth it for
Okay.
that. Like you can literally go there and if you just bring an empty water bottle, you have water. You can't bring any outside food or drink, you
Okay,
know.
yeah.
Which is whatever. They were very good on regulations.
Well, that's good.
Yes. So you could literally go there and basically only buy some food and you're good for the entire day.
Heck yeah.
If you just want to sit there
Was
and
it
listen to the music.
affordable?
Oh yeah, it was affordable. I
Okay.
mean, well, don't get me wrong, it's a little expensive. Like
Sure.
it was festival prices.
Okay,
But
yeah.
overall, I think the food you were getting was definitely worth the price. And they had so many cool like little small business stands everywhere.
Yeah.
They had some very interesting stands, not to, dog on anything. It was just a couple things that weren't necessarily my
Sure.
forte.
Okay, yeah.
But I did, stop by them and see what they were all about.
Absolutely.
There was this very cool thing they had going, a live podcast there.
Okay.
Yes, I
period.
really wanted to talk about that today.
Okay. Hell yeah.
They were talking about, I caught them talking about the history of KC Pride, and they had this old lady there that went to the first ever KC Pride.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yes, it was very cool to hear her story and how
Yeah.
she's seen it grow. I guess she's gone every single year,
Okay.
but
Oh, yeah.
since they've started,
So
and
she's
I'm
no
like,
G.
no, for real.
Okay.
And they were just having such a good time up there on that stage.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think my favorite part about it was that everybody was just kind of being themselves,
Yeah.
Like, literally be who you are for your pride.
No,
like,
for
we just
real.
sang that intro.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I met so many very cool people.
Yeah.
I met some drag queens.
Okay.
That was so
period.
fun. No, for real.
Oh my gosh. I've always wanted to go to a drag show. Like, I feel like that would literally be so much fun.
Literally half of the night was a drag show.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to stay to see Banshee, which she's very famous from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Ooh, okay.
And girl, she was literally there.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
No, for real. So I did say hi to her. I didn't get a picture. I just
Okay.
kind of said hi as she was walking by.
Yes.
Complimented her because, period, she was eating down.
Okay.
But, I had to leave because it was getting late.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to stay that long. Oh, Baby Tate performed.
Okay.
Girl, I got to see Baby Tate live.
Heck yeah. How was that?
That was very fun. I definitely have some videos.
Good.
This one drag queen, I forget her fucking name. I'm following her on Instagram now.
Mm-hmm.
But she dressed up as Zara Larson. And
Hey.
did a little bit to some Zara Larson
Okay.
songs through all of Midnight Sun, by the way. So
Yes.
just so you know, I got myself a little Zara Larson concert.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my
love me
gosh.
some Zara Larson.
Yes.
What a baddie queen.
One thing they do not tell you though. So first of all, this was my first ever concert I've really been to.
Okay.
That music was so fucking loud. I was at the top of the
yes.
hill and I could feel my chest thumping.
Oh, absolutely.
With the beat.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I was like, I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, absolutely. That's to be expected. Like,
No,
I
for
mean, when
real.
you go to, I remember when I went to Kendrick Lamar, and this is really very different, like different venue and everything.
Right.
Because yours was outdoors, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, and you do something indoors like that in some sort of arena or something, and it's just same exact thing. It's just so loud, you feel your bones rattle. It's crazy. It's the perfect, but it's like it's such a vibe. Like, it's a kind of vibe that you can't recreate at home or in a smaller venue. It's really just those
100%.
big, So no, that's so awesome.
Yeah, I got to see a lot of really small artists around KC perform.
Yeah.
That was very fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and everybody was just so supportive of everyone there. That's what I really liked. Anybody I talked to, they were just so happy to be there, and they were happy. Like, I got a whole bunch of compliments on my outfit. By the way, little side rant.
Yeah.
I loved my outfit, honestly.
It was so incredible.
I was so excited, and my niece kind of helped me pick it out because I did some thrift shopping with her, so a little bit of family bonding going on with that. So yeah, no, I feel like my experience overall was very, very fun. I really like all of the stands. I mean, honestly, everybody had something different, and there was this men's choir. It's a KC men's choir, and I signed up that I'm interested because there's a decent chance I am moving to Independence soon.
Yay!
Out of this little town.
Okay, yeah, get out of here.
Right, no, for real. Girl, why are we still here?
Right, like, disappear,
No,
teleport, whatever you...
Yeah, I plan on going to see one of their concerts in August.
Okay.
Yes, so, I mean, really, there's just so much community that I saw that I had no idea existed.
Yeah.
It was so interesting. I was so educated on so many things by the time I left. And also, there was this stand that was handing out, like, Narcan to people in case anybody needed it.
Yeah.
Like, it was I felt very safe in that environment.
Yeah.
Which was something I, weirdly enough, didn't expect.
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, I feel like that should be probably one of the safest festivals I should be at.
Absolutely.
I was like, so yeah, it was just very nice. It was almost like everybody there was just like in the same family. Everybody's having a great time. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is so awesome. I love that for you.
Yes,
and so, you know, I'm so glad that you had a good time. But again, I also, like, I really want to take a moment to thank you for coming to the pod and discussing this today, because one thing that I think is so important is that we are educated and we try to be open-minded. And again, you don't have to...
100%.
Yeah, and I think something people don't really understand is that you don't have to agree. Okay, so hey guys, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and fill them in a little bit.
Okay, so we're actually not in my car. We're in Nathan's car today.
Oh, yes.
And we're down by the river, and we're sitting here, and I'm talking, and he looks over my shoulder, and a whole ass tree just went down the river.
The entire tree. I kid you not. You can see the root system and everything from bottom to the top.
I don't know where it came from. It's just, he's just cruising right down the river. He's
honestly doing better than I am right now.
Valid, girl. Like, that's
No,
me
for
some
real.
days. I just need to be floating down the river. Like, just, you know,
Right.
dead as a branch, I guess. Just kidding.
Right,
no, that's not
right,
going to age
right.
well.
It is not going to age well, but it's
so
okay.
He's gone. So extra visitor on the podcast today. Woo! Welcome the tree.
That tree, right.
Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Being open-minded, being respectful of one another, really just treating everybody like human, because, like, hey, we all are. No, really just understanding that there's so many different people, so many different cultures, and, like, getting out there and experiencing.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think that was another thing I really enjoyed about Pride was I saw so many different cultures, so many different, like, types of people, whether it's, like, mental types or, like, physical types. I mean, it was truly an experience. Honestly, it was just so cool. Like, I know I keep saying that, but seriously, probably the most fun I've had in quite a long time.
Guys, for context, we are from a very small rural area. I think I've kind of discussed it a little bit. And so one of the things that it's really hard about being in an environment like that is that you do encounter a lot of close-minded people, but you also don't get to really experience a whole lot. Was there anything, like, specifically that you experienced that you're like, wow, I could literally never get this at home and I didn't even know this was a thing, but now I know?
Honestly, it was just the freedom that, like, you could even feel it in the environment. There was just so much freedom, and, like, nobody was really afraid to be themselves. And I even talked around a little bit and got some, like, personal experience stories from people and shared my own personal experiences, which was very nice. Some people kind of shared some of the experiences I did and kind of shared the same excitement that I did about, like, Pride Fest and everything.
Yeah.
With how, like, you can just be yourself. A lot of the times I'm like, yes, I love to be myself, but also at the same time, like, in the back of my mind, it's just very like, wow, I am scared shitless to be doing this right now. Like, this is not normal.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, at Pride Fest, like, it is more than normal. Like, it is what's expected.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is great.
No, that's so awesome, because I think that we should all have the opportunity to just really be ourselves. And I love an environment that can foster that. And it sounds like that's really what you experienced when you were in KC at the Pride Fest.
Oh yeah, 100%. And oh my gosh, like I don't even know where to begin when it comes to just the freedom. Truly something I'd never seen.
Absolutely. Time pause. Hey, guys, there's a car coming towards the river. I don't know if we're about to get jumped.
I don't
know, guys.
Usually when there's somebody down here, like when I've been down here before, usually they just turn around and leave.
Oh, they do? I wonder
Yes,
if they were like coming like fish or something. Well, I guess you wouldn't be fishing this late. It's also nighttime, guys. So it's really
most
dark.
of the people that are fishing this late are out on their boat. So.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, they might just be coming to like turn around, or maybe they're lost or looking at the river. There's no houses down here, are there?
No, closest house is up past that hill.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like she literally might just be going to look at the river or something.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people do that around here.
Oh, absolutely.
Just a little night drive.
I prefer to look at it during the day because I feel like it's a giant muddy puddle. But,
right, exactly.
But neither here nor there. Yes, but if you're not used to that, or if you just like being in the country, it can be kind of nice to just come and sit by the water.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I totally get it. Something that I would encourage listeners to think about, but I also want your take on this, is how do you think we can increase LGBTQ representation without it feeling like it's being quote unquote forced? Because
yes.
I call it the Disney, the whole like it's almost like Disney, because sometimes I think they try too hard to be inclusive.
Yes.
And it's like, this feels forced.
Yes. Oh, okay, bye.
Their window was down.
Their window was down.
Oh.
No, yes, what you were saying with the things being forced upon, I have seen, and sorry, I'm going to do a little bit of a deep dive here.
Yeah.
I was even talking about this with a few people at Pride. So, to think about, like, hate towards the LGBTQIA+, a lot of the hate comes from just the extremists that try and push their way of life and their beliefs on other people. And then that's just, like, super unfortunate for the people who are, like, just being themselves, being what it's literally about.
Yeah.
It's not about, like, forcing your beliefs or your opinions on other people. Right. It's about just the ability to be yourself and be who you are. And, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's not fair to a lot of the LGBTQ community, because it just puts such a negative impact on the entire community.
Yeah.
Because, and you guys have seen it all over online, like, one video of one person can completely go viral.
Oh, absolutely.
And put so many people to be negative against one community.
Oh, absolutely. I totally get that. And as somebody who's a part of multiple different communities, especially including that one, but also as a person of color, I can definitely relate to it in that aspect. It only takes one person doing something, and then suddenly they generalize. The whole group.
No,
is
100%.
Like one black person has a crash out, and now all black people are ratchet. All black people are ghetto. And that's not true. That's very, very unfair to every other person in the culture that does not match.
Exactly. Girl, you get it. I'm so glad that, like, you understand this.
Absolutely.
Because
I do.
it is just truly, it's just crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
But, like, there's a lot of the LGBTQ community, especially online, who talk about how they're like, I don't know, like, I've always wished that I wasn't this way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I kind of get it. Like,
I do.
There's just so much automatic hate towards the community because of people like that it almost pushes the people away, or kind of like closets them into a space where they can't be themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
And like I said it before, it's just not fair.
Oh, absolutely. And you make a great point. And some of this goes back to just when we were younger, how we're raised. Because I remember I grew up in the church, very Christian. Most of my family was very conservative. Now, my parents didn't necessarily push any of their beliefs on me. They really wanted to leave it up to me. But the rest of my family was all very conservative. Eventually, I came to a point, as I began to mature, I realized that I was gay, and that was really, really hard. I will say, I struggled for years, and it hurts me, the mental struggles I went through. I thought I was less than. I didn't even want to be here because I was ashamed of myself, of my sexuality. That is something that came from society, came from my environment around me.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Growing up in the church, it was always anti-gay. You can't be gay. You will go to hell. You will burn in hell. God does not love you. And now that I'm older and I have made my own church, I say, like, I have made this religion into my own. I talk to God in the way that I do, and I communicate with him. And I feel like in my heart, I have come to an understanding with the Lord that regardless of not whether this is a sin, I'm just going to have to ask for forgiveness, because at the end of the day, this is just who I am, and I believe that the Lord will love me no matter what. And so, again,
100%.
not to get super religious or anything, overly religious. The main point being, this comes from how we teach children, what we tell them, and it matters more than people think. It has such a bigger impact than anyone.
100%.
The amount of nights I spent in my preteens thinking, why am I like this? I wish I was not like this. And it's so sad because I'm sure there are so many other preteens, teens going, or even adults dealing with those feelings, and nobody should have to feel like that because it does not matter. You know,
no, it
what
really
you,
does
who
not.
you love. It doesn't matter what you love. It doesn't matter who you are, who you feel you identify as. You are loved. You are enough. You are important. I think that is the main thing that we need to push more. We need to teach the younger generation that they are loved no matter what.
Yeah, 100%. And to kind of piggyback off of your point, I also grew up in the church, very, very Christian. My whole entire family was very conservative and very Christian, except they did push their beliefs on me. So then when I was like thinking, oh, you know what, like I might be gay, like maybe this is a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was at the time, barely.
Absolutely.
When I were having these thoughts, even as young as I was.
Yeah.
And then just to kind of like look back at that and then see me now, I'm like, the younger version of myself would be so proud.
Oh, absolutely.
To know that like I've been able to mature enough out of such a boxed and enclosed viewpoint, and that I'm just so much more open-minded now.
Absolutely.
And like when it comes to religion, I'm not exactly sure where I stand, and that's just because, you know what, like I am focusing on so many other things right now.
Yeah.
Not to say that there is no time for that, but it's just something that I really haven't put too much thought forth to yet,
Yeah.
and that I will eventually. But
Absolutely.
and then to piggyback a little bit more off of yours, I totally had those late nights where I was just up thinking I do not belong. I hated myself. I mean, truly. And it has taken so much work to be able to learn to love myself.
Absolutely.
I still struggle with it a lot of days.
I totally get it.
Right.
It's a real thing.
No, 100%. And unfortunately, what we see a lot with LGBTQIA plus youth is that it drives a lot of people to suicide.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and it is a huge problem within that community. It's a problem that the circumstances are happening to make them feel that way.
I mean, if you notice there is a trend there. There's data that shows it. And again, that is so sad. And that is, I'm not going to blame this completely, but I am going to say a lot of that has to do with society.
Yeah, 100%.
Making these people feel like outcasts. And again, I want to also say, like, it's not just LGBTQ individuals. It is people of all different races.
100%.
People of all different backgrounds. It's so sad because I thought we did away with the whole, everybody has to fit in this box or look this way or be this way to be loved. No. Everybody should be loved, and nobody, not a single soul on this earth, not even somebody that hates my guts, should feel like they don't belong, because every single person has a place on this earth. They are here for a reason, and they need to stay.
No, 100%. I agree.
And that, again, that needs to be pushed so much more, and I think schools are starting to kind of pick up on that. I know our school kind of did, and we have the regular meetings, but we need to do more. Each individual, as a society, we need to do better and make sure that people know they're welcome there.
And to kind of talk about schools a little bit more, a lot of what we see in media right now, and especially with the government, where they're like taking away, you can't teach LGBTQIA anything in schools, is because they're seeing it from that extremist point of view, where they're going to teach your kids, you should be gay, you should be lesbian, you should be trans, you should be bi, whatever. Yeah. When the schools are just trying to teach them that it's okay to be who they want to be.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not necessarily educating them to be a certain way, but more to educate them to know what's out there, because they're gonna experience it. They're gonna find it one way or another. And it's better to almost teach them that is a thing when they're young, and teach them that everybody should be loved and accepted.
Oh, yeah.
Without pushing that point of view, that lifestyle on somebody.
Yeah.
And honestly, who is the better people to do that than teachers?
I mean, absolutely. And we see that. I mean, what is the difference between teaching any sort of history or any sort of philosophy or social study? How is that any different from talking about and discussing the different types of people, and how our differences make us who we are and make up our culture? Because it's okay. Again, and some of that is like kind of like you said, representation.
Oh yeah.
Seeing people who. Yeah,
okay,
guys,
there's
we
another
have
car.
another car.
Visitor on the podcast.
Wow. Okay, so this really is a thing people do where they just.
Oh yeah, it's a normal
Where they
thing.
just come and see. Oh, at
That
nighttime?
truck sounds like it's dying.
I was about to say that was a little interesting. That's a choice.
I'm scared.
Okay, me too. But continuing.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Representation is super important. It's a conversation that needs to be had. Okay, I'm going to shut down serious time for a little bit. We've been serious for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Let's kind of go to more of an education, but like also. So I feel like one of the questions that people always ask when they find out that you're gay or you're bi or whatever. How did you know you were gay?
Hold on. Girl, okay, hold on. I have a funny story about this. So, usually if it's just like a random person, usually my go-to answer, and this is just to like, mess around and make a little joke, is, well, one day when I was 6, I was walking through the men's underwear aisle. That has got to be my favorite excuse.
Oh, that is awesome.
But then the other excuse I use to like some of my like closer friends or people who are closer to me is, well, I blame my mother, ironically, the most homophobic out of my family, for making me watch Burlesque, which is a movie featuring Christina Aguilera and Cher. Wonderful musical, because the dude in it, one of the main characters, Jack, he is the bartender, is low-key fine. I'll just go out and say it. He low-key really is.
Get it, girl.
So then I'll just make that joke.
Period.
But to be more on like the educative side, really, it isn't necessarily like a when you know. It's more like, it isn't like one specific thing where it just clicks and all of a sudden you are that way.
Yeah.
Like, no, it is something, I almost want to say like in your DNA, but like.
Yeah, I mean, it grows and it develops. I mean, it's one of those things. It's
not
again,
instant.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said it. It's really not, it's not immediate. It is one of those things, it's over time. I feel like it does kind of start with exposure. And I think that's maybe where people come like with the idea of, oh, well, we can't expose kids to this. But like you said,
100%.
they are going to be exposed at some point. And until then, they're not really going to know who they truly are.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, there's going to be a little bit of noise here.
A little bit of noise because of this damn truck. Bye.
At least he didn't have his window down.
Listen, we don't talk about it.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Okay, sorry. Was I yapping or were you talking?
You were yapping first.
Oh, of course I was. Okay.
That's okay.
This is not about me.
Girl, it literally is.
I'm gonna call my thought complete, but I'm gonna keep us moving. And so let's talk coming out. Coming out can be very, very hard, and sometimes it's not even safe to do so. So I want to know, first, if you're comfortable sharing, will you share your coming out story? And then will you give
100%.
us some tips on if somebody's thinking, man, I'm ready to come out, but I don't quite know how. Maybe give some tips as to how you would recommend one go about that.
Okay, so this is a bit of a weird story, my coming out story.
Yeah.
Because I did it after my late grandpa's funeral.
Okay.
Because I don't know, something just like clicked that one, I'm pretty sure my parents already knew. This was like back in 22, right?
Yeah.
And that two, as much as I knew my parents disagreed with it, I knew that I wouldn't want them, and this is kind of morbid, but like honestly it is something to think about, like you weren't able to express yourself and who you are to your parents before they do pass away. And that just like hit me all of a sudden, and I was like crying about it. I was like, I have to do this. I know I have to do this now. So then that's when I did it. I would say my biggest tip is to just kind of like let your parents know, if it's something you're uncomfortable doing, but you feel like you need to, explain that to them. I mean, really just communicate to them, be like, hey, this has been making me very uncomfortable. I'm kind of like maybe even a little scared to be talking to you guys about this, but like, I know you guys love me and that's why I want to let you guys know.
Absolutely.
And that is probably the best thing that you can explain to them, because one, if you feel like it isn't safe and you still choose to come out, it might even calm them down a little bit and be like, oh, no, this is them being vulnerable. Let me take a moment to actually listen here.
Yeah.
That way they can almost kind of see it from your point of view.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. I will say what happened after I came out was not the best. Not to scare anyone away from coming out or anything, but just kind of share my experience. So when I had told my dad, he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I knew. I was like, oh,
That's a
okay,
pretty, like, typical
period,
parent
right. He was
response.
like, while I don't necessarily agree with it just because of the way he grew up, and he did explain that, which was very surprising to me. He was like, it's not like I love you any less. He's like, I just want to let you know, like, life is going to be more difficult, or like you might struggle with some different challenges than most people will. He said, but like, I love you and I want you to be happy, and if this is you when you're happy, I'd rather you be happy than living something you don't want to live.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what it comes down to for me. When I've even talked about other people to help them come out, I'm like, here's ultimately the decision you have to make. Do you want to be happy, or do you want to make the other people happy and kind of close yourself in?
Yeah.
And just make yourself unhappy just to make other people happy? And then that's when they're like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I want to be happy.
Exactly.
And I think that's why, and this kind of like, you know, not as serious,
Yeah.
but why LGBTQIA plus whatever is so loud and proud is because they just want to be happy with who they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Especially after like ideology pushed towards that community,
Yeah.
where they're like, no, I want to be myself. I want to be happy. I want people
Absolutely.
to know that I'm happy, because people have fought so hard to be there.
Absolutely. 100%.
Right. So to kind of go back to my coming out story, now my mom, she's been known to be like Bible thumper type of Christian. So when I came out, she kind of didn't talk to me for the most part for about 2 months.
Oh, wow.
And excluded me from any family activity that she physically could for 2 months.
Wow.
But then after that, we were kind of okay. So like and from what I heard from my dad, because he kind of relayed messages back to me whenever they would sit down and talk about it a little bit, was that she knew, she just wasn't comfortable with it. And then at first, I was just extremely angry. I mean, I was just so mad that like I wasn't accepted by someone that I put so much love and effort into, that it just made me so mad and so disappointed. But then I also had to realize, and this is what I feel like a lot of people miss, is that when you are coming out to your parents, like they might have grown up in like a completely different time than you, where that wasn't normal, or like they grew up in a household where that wasn't okay, and they kept that ideology for themselves because they didn't identify as that or whatever.
Absolutely.
So then I was like, honestly, I have no right to be mad, because who's to say I wouldn't do the same thing
Yeah.
if I was raised that way?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I'm like I said, everybody should be able to be who they are, have their own feelings and opinions towards things. So I'm like, it makes me no different than somebody who is hating on the gay trans community to be sitting here and hating on somebody who hasn't fully accepted it yet. Because it just makes you no different. And I feel like that's where people go wrong most of the time.
Absolutely. And with that, I'm actually going to piggyback off of that, because you make a fantastic point. I feel like this is a good tip for anybody if you're thinking, I don't know how to come out, or I'm ready to. One thing, when you tell, whether it's parents, friends, when you tell them, don't take their immediate reaction. Don't take that as, okay, this is how they feel about me. Because I will tell you, it's big news. It can be big news.
Oh, yeah,
and
100%.
it can be an adjustment, especially for parents. You might tell your parents, and their reaction might read as one way, and then a week later, they come to you and they're like, okay, yep, love you, like bring you in, like you are perfect, you're amazing. And I think that can be confusing for some, but you have to understand, like, when anybody hears any sort of big news, it takes some time to come to terms with that and accept that.
Yes.
And processing. You have to give them processing time and sometimes processing space. And go ahead, Nate.
And the way that I viewed it to myself, for it to make more sense to me anyways, I thought of it as like you said, it can be very big news. Almost like when you get news of grief, where somebody passes away. Like, you can be absolutely not okay for an entire week. Yeah. And then the next week you're like, oh, okay, yeah, they passed away. Yeah. And like, you felt your emotions, you processed it, and now you know how you think about it.
Absolutely. Because
that, to go along, again, with my coming out story, after that, my mom was very like, she didn't necessarily really get involved. She was more like, if you can keep that stuff to yourself, attempt to. She's like, but also, I kind of get it. So she set her boundaries with what it was. And that's what I really respect, is when people set boundaries.
I can respect that as well.
So, kind of to piggyback off of what Lily was saying, do not take their initial reaction as exactly how they feel at all. Not at all, because it's almost like their emotions, especially for something as big of news as coming out, just go haywire. They almost don't know how to think.
Well, I'm so glad you used the term grief, and I think that's a great way to describe it, because to understand, when you come out to your parents, they're almost getting a new version of you. They're hearing about this new version. And so they very well might be grieving the version of their kiddo that they knew before.
Right. And they might be even thinking of how to move forward with this and how to maybe change a couple of the ways that they might have been treating you or this and that, and then might have realized, oh, maybe I've been doing this wrong. So like with my mom, I think that's kind of what was going on and why it took so long. And while she might not fully accept the way that I am, she very much still loves me and wants me to be happy.
Good. Yeah. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, that's not every parent, but I think a lot of parents do 100%. End up feeling that way at the end of the day, of whether or not, regardless of whether or not they appreciate the choice or whether they agree with it, they will love you. Love is very, very strong, and it can 100%. Overcome a lot of things. I mean, it's the same reason my dog shits on the floor, but I still love him. It's like you just crapped in the middle of the floor, but I'm still gonna give you a hug, get you a treat. I love you, and I'm gonna clean it up for you. But again, that and it's silly, but no, really, that's how parents are, you know, and that's what they're there for. They're there to pick us up after we dump on the floor, and then they have to clean it up. They've literally probably done it for all of us before. Also, to everybody who's not LGBTQ or not thinking about coming out, like, you don't need to. Understand, again, it still applies giving grace to your parents. Anytime you tell them anything, whether it's, oh, I'm getting married, oh, we're having a baby, oh, we're buying a new house. You know, these are big changes, and it does take processing time. Right.
And on the flip side of that, I also encourage, especially anybody listening, to try and see it from both sides, as difficult as that may be. Honestly, if you can just kind of keep it neutral, that is probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah. That's so important, and what is even more important, and I really want to thank you again, is for sharing your experiences. I wish I could have heard more stories from people in similar situations when I was younger. I wish it had been talked about more, maybe more normalized, because again, it could have helped with a lot of the hurt and the pain that I went through.
Yes,
and I
100% agree.
I still to this day have to kind of work on changing some of my thoughts, my thought processes. Because I will be very honest. And people, like, they hear this and it's counterintuitive and they don't understand. For the longest time, I was very transphobic. And despite being gay myself, I was transphobic. And I'll tell you this.
Oh yeah, me too.
It came from a place of, it wasn't that I, like, just hate it, but I didn't understand.
Yeah,
I
see,
really
and that, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that.
Yes.
Because I was going to touch on that too. It's crazy. I didn't know that you were ever transphobic at one point.
Unfortunately, we don't talk about it. Dark times.
No, dark times. Well, let me tell you, I fear I was also in those same dark times. I was very transphobic. I was like, no, like, you are this gender or that gender, because I just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And especially, and even like, Pride helped a little bit for me to see like the non-binary community or the gender fluid community a lot. Like, it is just so interesting to hear from these people how they think and feel, because like I said, I just didn't understand it at that time. I didn't realize that it was me not understanding. But the more and more I learned about it, I was like, oh, okay, no, I don't hate this. I'm not transphobic, gender fluid phobic, whatever. I just didn't understand it.
Oh, absolutely. It was crazy. I literally remember, I addressed the hatred. I addressed the feelings. I said, why in the world do I feel like this? And I couldn't give myself a good answer. So, you know, I said... Exactly. So I said, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do some research. And I sat down for 3 hours one afternoon and read article after article, scholarly articles, blog posts, everything A through Z. And by the end of those 3 hours, I came out as such a completely different person. I said, 100%. Wow, my prejudice, my hatred for what?
Exactly. And I really want to push on that. You said it was 3 hours, right?
Yep.
That is absolutely no time.
Nope, not at all.
So any chance you think that you feel a hatred towards a community or a race or a culture, I just want to push you guys, anybody listening, or honestly just in general, to maybe educate yourself on
Absolutely.
that, because you can find out so much you had no idea about.
Oh, absolutely. And again, yes. So I can't express that enough. Is step out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Talk to people who aren't like you, even if it's I can tell you this: the more uncomfortable a situation is, like as long as it's safe, of course. But the more uncomfortable a situation is, the more you are growing as a person.
Oh yeah, and the more you learn.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. If you stay comfortable, you will not grow as a person. You will not learn.
At all.
No.
And this just might be like my Sagittarius side coming out, but I think of myself in the future, like as I know now, where I try and keep up with the times, I try and keep up with like new beliefs that are coming out, like even new communities that are appearing, or that I at least didn't know about for the longest time that are becoming more popular. I see myself as wanting to be able to grow as a person and to do some research, even like reach out to those communities. That way I can understand them more, because I don't want to be stuck in my ways.
Yeah.
Because I just want to continue growing.
Absolutely. That is so awesome. You guys have heard Nate's story, and we come all the way back to how he went to Pride Fest, you know, and I'm sure the younger version of you that was in the closet would literally be ecstatic to hear that.
I almost got emotional a few times. Absolutely. Where I was just in the moment, feeling like I was myself, and I felt no hatred at all.
Absolutely.
And like I kind of explained that little part in the back of my mind where I'm just like, I do not like myself. It was just gone. And it, like, I just felt, again, I know I've said this a million times on the podcast already, but just so free. Like, it was just fantastic.
Yeah, that is so awesome. And so, with that, guys, again, if you're listening and you're in a similar position, or you don't know where you stand, things will change.
Oh, yeah.
There's always room to grow. And again, you might not be in a safe environment to do so now, but at some point you will be in a place, or you can put yourself in a place where you can express yourself and truly be who you are. For your pride. Sorry.
No, I almost did it too.
Every time we have said "be who you are," I almost busted in a song. But
I think I sang that like 30 times.
No,
at Pride.
for real. That is so real.
I even had a group of people sing it with me.
As you should. That is the only, like, that song. Please put it on the radio.
For real.
Yeah, we're just gonna play it.
Also, shout out Quincy locked the voice.
Period.
Poor girl passed
R.I.P.
away.
She
is literally my queen.
Yes, she was.
Anyway,
queen. We love her. Okay, well, Nate, anything else? Any last tips? Message to any viewers? And then if you have any, or you want to drop socials or anything, you can. We need more content creators, influencers that represent our community in a good light and do strive to educate. To people who don't agree with their viewpoints or where they stand. And again, we have to just be understanding of everybody. I still think everybody is deserving of a place, no matter what their beliefs are. But I think younger Lily would have been thrilled to see a content creator, someone as yourself, just discussing that and being open and posting your experiences. I think that is so awesome and so important, and the younger generation, I think they definitely need that, a positive.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Even not necessarily day to day, but like experience that were happening in real time in my life, because I treat every experience as a chance to grow. To move on with this, to do a little bit of shameless plugging here, my Instagram is Nate211407. That is NATE 211407. Literally just Nathan Neal 26, NATHAN NEILL 26 on TikTok. Feel free to follow me. I can't promise a follow back, but honestly, I can promise that is something I'm going to move forward with.
Heck
because even to be able to help one person is to make a difference.
That's kind of how I felt when I started this podcast. Is what are you doing this for? Like, they're like, what if this flops and nobody sees it? And I'm like, even if one person listens to it and walks away from an episode saying, hey, you know what, she's right, or hey, that was some good advice, I might try that, then I've succeeded. This podcast has done what it needs to.
And I was talking to my family up in Independence about that, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hop on this podcast with my best friend Lily here. And they were like, okay, but like, just know it's hard to necessarily have it blow up or become popular. And I said, okay, no offense and not to be rude, but like that's not the point. I'm
Right.
like, great if it does.
Sure.
But like you said, even if one person walks away from this with some good advice
Yeah.
or even just feeling seen and heard, like
Yeah.
that is just so important to me as someone who didn't have that growing up.
Absolutely. That really is it. And I hope you guys feel so much love, and I hope you guys feel welcome and included in this podcast, because understand that you're still so amazing. You can still be who you are and celebrate in June, because June, yes, it is Pride Month, but it's Pride about everybody. Pride about being
100%.
Latino. It's Pride about being Black. Pride about being gay. Pride about just being you, being yourself. And so everybody should celebrate Pride Month, even if that's not, even if you don't think it's your thing. I promise
it is. And that, okay, real quick, kind of as like, that was the other thing that really surprised me about Pride, that kind of opened my eyes a little bit, was that there were people of all sorts.
Yeah.
Like, even straight people who you would think, oh, no, they don't go to Pride.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they go to Pride because they're like, everybody can just be themselves.
Yes.
And that is so important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Be who you are for your pride.
For your pride. All right, guys. We're going to hit it one more time for you.
Oh, yeah,
Ready?
we got to. Ready?
3, 2, ready, go.
Be who you are for your pride. Don't hide.
That one was from the soul.
No, it really was.
All right. Well, Shayla's, we love you. Thank you, Nate, so much
Yes,
for coming
of course.
on.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Absolutely. And trust, you will be back.
Oh, yeah. You best
will
bet I
be back.
be.
And guys, if you're listening, please drop some love to Nate in the comments. I will make sure that he sees them. But let him
Yes.
know how much we appreciate him, how much we love him, because he is awesome. He is beautiful.
But
and
also, do not forget to show some love to Lily. She's doing so much work to make this
Thank you,
able to be
babes.
possible.
Thank you.
Of course, Queen.
Oh my gosh.
We got to support everyone here.
Absolutely. And again, as always, if you made it to the end, you are an elite Shayla.
No, exactly.
I swear. Like, I know this was a little bit longer of an episode, but if you made it, thank you, elite Shayla. Okay,
Yes.
you get
We
14
love our
W's.
elite, yes.
Absolutely. So again, we love you guys. Thank you so much for
Yes,
listening.
We love you so much.
Happy Pride Month.
Let's take a minute while we're in it.